Ordinarily, I would ask Bobby to give us a drum roll, but she didn't bring her drums. So this is it. For those of you who didn't believe it was really going to happen, because it's been a long time, this is Beat the Blues. 2 years in the writing, a lifetime in the making. It's an instruction manual and toolkit on providing a sound recipe to increase productivity and improve any aspect of your life. Originally, we also said, and your luck, but it was just too much. It was going off the page, you know. So it's got a workbook in the back. It's got a CD in the front. And who's it for? I don't know anybody who at some time in their life can't use a little bit of a boost. So anyone who wants to increase their productivity or improve any aspect of their life can use this and get something out of it. But if you really pin me down, who's the primary target? I would say the primary target is somebody going through a change or a transition, or in my case, it was a crisis. The original concept started in 1982. Bobby and I had moved down here from New York, and boy, we thought we were good. We conquered Houston from 77 to 82. I opened up an ad agency. We specialized in help wanted advertising, and the Houston Chronicle, if you can remember, had 300 pages of help wanted ads, and 200 of them were ours. And then in 1982 hit, we moved here because Houston was recession proof. And it really is. Nobody mentioned anything about a depression. And in 1982, Houston went into a depression. And I didn't know what we were going to do, because we went from 200 ads a week to 2. And that's not an exaggeration. So how was it going to pay the bills? And there was no hope in sight because there was no hiring. And if there's no hiring, there's no advertising to recruit people. So it was serious to the point, you can relate to this, Dr. Solis, I was running to the emergency room every other week with giant hives from stress, getting adrenaline shots. So I had to do something. So kind of out of desperation, I found a book. It was called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And I was saying the wrong things, let me tell you. You wouldn't want to know what I was saying to myself. It was by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. And it was great. And I devoured it. And I added my own twists to it and started to get some ideas. Then I discovered some other great writers like Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale. And all of a sudden, stuff started to happen. I started to come up with ideas. And I shared these ideas with my family, my coworkers. And you might say that from 2003 until, from 1983 until 2007, we lived happily ever after. We really had like a dream come true. And then I don't have to tell you about 2007. 2007, the whole economy went to heck. And this time, I actually started to think that the American dream was dying. And it was really getting to me, because I was still in the field where you have to hire people, still in the recruiting field. And it seemed like there was no way out, so I kind of staggered around the office for 4 more years. Then after 40 years doing the same thing, I finally realized, I can't fix this anymore, I got to get out. So I retired. And at first I was glad about it, and then I got home, and then I stare at Bobby, stare at the TV, stare at the computer, stare at Bobby. I got to find something to do. I got to find some new purpose. And then, coincidentally, our daughters, Debbie and Nikki, went to a seminar headed up by a PhD psychologist on how to bring up kids. And they told me how they proudly presented how we brought them up, some of the ideas that really came from the books that I had read. And they were proud of it. They said it worked, which is unusual, because most kids come back and say, why did you do that? More importantly, the psychologist said, that's really interesting stuff. So when they told me that, I said, maybe there's something here. Now, I had forgotten all these ideas from way back in 1982. So I went back and I reread the books. And they were still great. But you know what? They were a little antiquated. And I thought I could kind of update them. So what I thought of doing was updating these books and putting together something for the grandkids. so I could, kind of leave them a leave behind of what we were all about and how to make it. Because these ideas go back 4,000 years, so it doesn't matter what generation. And then a strange thing happened. I discovered some notes from the 1980s. Our family goals, my personal goals. It was amazing. And you know what? We achieved just about every goal that we set for ourselves, that other people set for us. So I thought there was really something here. So that's what resulted in Beat the Blues. I was writing it for the grandkids and did more and more research, got more and more into it. A couple of publishers got wind of it, and we got signed by Tate Publishing and put the soundtrack together, which made it really, really different. And we went on our way.